Or whatever you want.
Word up.
I'm just going to do a little thing and then introduce you, and then you can start talking.
Cool. Lights,
camera, and action.
Welcome to the Damaged Goods podcast with your hosts, Ill Vibe and Jess Robert. I am sick as fuck, so I'm really sorry if I'm like sniffling and hacking into the microphone. I will try to do it as little as possible. If I spend another day sipping Neocitrin and playing video games, I might kill myself. So
Eucalyptus oils, babe.
yeah, that's on my list of things to talk about. Don't you worry.
I imagine it is.
Thank you for listening. Do us a big favor and like us on socials or follow us on YouTube or if you subscribe on YouTube, whatever the thing is on whatever you're listening or watching on, please do that thing. You could check us out on socials at Damaged Goods Pod, myself at 4 Jess Robert, and Ill Vibe at Ill Vibe. Our podcast account is still blocked on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
Fuck you, Twitter.
So actually don't check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Instagram.
In our opinion, you just avoid Twitter altogether.
Yeah.
It's probably too early for me to cut in, but are y'all in Twitter jail?
Yeah, but for no reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have
Got
no
a couple
idea why.
gangsters in here. I didn't realize that.
My personal account?
Yeah.
I take liberties, fam, with the
You
rules.
do. That's why I'm
but
like
with the
real
damaged
shocked.
goods account, we mostly
shocked.
We
Yeah.
post
close to the rule book.
episodes. Like
Yeah.
we honestly don't even like
Maybe your
share
episodes offend
controversial.
the higher ups at
Names
Twitter.
of some of the episodes have
it.
definitely
that's
alerted a
true.
couple of algorithms over time.
That's it. That's what it is.
Facebook and Google have collectively accused us of trying to sell tobacco products, gambling products,
Liquor,
human
maybe.
trafficking. At one point, one of my ads was denied for
because it was Cam Girls. One of our
we referenced
episodes.
Cam Girls.
Yeah, one of our episodes was called like
it-
Cam Girls and something.
Yeah,
and,
I could see that being an issue
But
Yeah.
in today's time.
But don't they understand, like, every podcast or comedy special or comments on these things?
Right,
It's not like we're
right.
actually, you look at three people
But-
around the microphones.
But you're
pretty
titling,
quick.
you know.
Yeah, we just have to be careful with our
but
titles
the title,
now.
you got to tuck that
but
in
they're
there somewhere,
funny.
bro. You got to tuck it in there.
Anyways, you're right.
Shout out to Twitter.
You're not wrong.
But for me, not for them.
Thank you, as usual, to lyricvids.com, the web's #1 lyric video animation company, who recently got a new celebrity Canadian client.
Oh.
Who, am I allowed to say this?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not out yet, but it's 5440, who,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I definitely was like, I don't know who they are. But Anthony's
Tay
like, how do
definitely
you not
doesn't. Tay
know
I was
who
going
they
to
are?
say, if you're not Canadian like
No.
me, who in the hell is that?
Let me think if I can think of a
Do you
good.
know Rush?
No.
So
okay.
you know who it is? This is a really bad reference, but
Okay.
I think it's in the frame of the right reference. It would kind of be like a Canadian version of like CCR. Do you know who CCR is?
No, this is coming to me.
Oh, yeah. Also, Tay's also black in addition.
That's
to
Yeah, I
it.
was
Sorry if you guys can't see that.
Yeah, if you're just listening.
I'm
Tay is
slightly
black.
darker.
I know that you probably assumed that
Do
when
you know
you
who
said
the
you
Eagles
didn't
are?
know who CCR
I do know who the Eagles
Okay,
are.
so it's kind of in that camp of like from that
okay.
era
Cool.
of like late 70s through the 80s.
So
They
they're
were
old as
legends.
hell.
They were, yeah, but
That's what's up, though.
They've been playing for 40 or 50 years, which is the
That's
dream,
nice.
right?
Yeah, they got a catalog. They're probably trying to, digitize.
Yeah,
That's
they
pretty
are.
much what it is.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And here in Canada, there's really only like 30 famous musicians ever.
Yeah.
So whenever you,
Alanis Morissette.
I do know her. I know her.
I like
Grew
this
up
has
on
turned
her.
into a game called Does Our Black American
Who do
Friend
you
Know
know?
White Canadian Musicians? Okay, we should introduce them before we play any more
Okay.
games.
We're talking like
So today's guest is a dear friend of ours and a talented ass recording artist and performer. He's come all the way from Miami, and
Yes,
I'd
I
like
did.
to pretend that he's flown in just for this podcast.
Exclusively.
It's exactly
Yeah.
why,
You talked a couple things
First
in
of all,
once we booked the flight.
Well, thank you guys for, picking me up from YYZ and the limo.
We sent our driver Dio.
Yeah. What was his name again?
Dio.
We
sent our,
yes.
We sent our driver Dio.
Dio,
to get you.
yeah. That's a funny guy that you guys, I think he's still
That's
waiting
why
to
we
get
hired
paid,
him.
So, that
And
was
if he keeps
good.
putting in his time, he's going to
DO
work.
stand for driver
Extraordinaire. is the E.
extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. Oh, fuck me. One joined it out. He can't spell
already
extraordinaire.
there.
Anyways.
Yeah, man. I'm here, man.
Oh yeah, please welcome the Taykeover. I didn't even finish
Takeover.
my introduction.
Friends
Yes.
know him as Tay.
Yes.
Yeah. Friends call me Tay because it's to mean syllables in the takeover. So people, they fuck it up. You know
How
what
do
I mean?
you describe yourself to people? So someone sees you at the airport, and this probably happens a lot actually, where they see you and they can kind of tell you're not just like a businessman going on a business trip.
Yeah.
How do you summarize yourself to people?
It really honestly depends on who I'm talking to. I'll be 100% honest with you.
Yeah. Okay.
If
so
you know,
let's play a game.
Yeah,
If
let's
it's
play a game.
if it's an old old lady, what do you say?
Yeah, I say I'm here to meet her granddaughter.
Like as a joke? Is this like
Yeah, as a joke.
I like it.
Yeah, I just go right to
just
it.
like a
He's
charming
also playing the
little-
odds that
But
she
it's-
might have a hot
but she
granddaughter.
might have a hot
Yes.
granddaughter. So it just really depends on the
Okay,
person.
what if it's a hot granddaughter? Then what
if
do
it
you
is
say?
a hot grand?
Then what do you say to her?
I'm here to meet her. Like,
Oh no, but like you're flying into Toronto.
Yeah.
She's like, so what? You're like, oh, I came here to meet you.
I'll say,
Oh, so
I'll
this is
say,
just playing this angle.
I'm a touring recording artist. You know what I mean? And I've been. I don't know if you know the R&B star that is Ill Vibe.
I am an R&B star. We'll get to that.
You gotta get to that, But it just depends on. I'm more of a conversationalist, so it just kind of depends.
Sure.
I hate saying that I'm a rapper. It's like one of the worst things. So I say everything else.
Yeah, that's why I never
You know what I mean?
introduce our rapper guests as rappers.
Yeah,
it's
it's
always
terrible.
performing artists. Just
Oh my
sounds so
God,
much
it's
nicer.
It's terrible because then they want you to rap, and then it's
Yeah.
like, how do you rap to an old lady?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Even a young lady.
Even young lady, it's a little weird. Then they're like, well, do you know? Well, we're in Canada. Do you know Drake? It's like, nah, I don't know Drake.
Are you
Like,
here
Sorry,
to hang out with Drake?
Yeah.
probably not. And then-
Lower a little bit.
probably not, ma'am.
I had my first experience of that as a new comedian where all my rapper friends have always said as soon as you say you're a rapper
Yeah.
that people are like,
Yeah,
oh, can you
it's-
rap?
Can you rap real quick?
So I've had that just recently for my
Yes.
first time. I was like, oh, tell us a joke. And I gave in and I told a joke.
Yeah,
I wonder-
it was
And
terrible.
it
Bro, I
went
warned her.
so bad.
Terrible? Yeah.
Like it was just like, because what are you supposed to do? Like, ta-da! And like
Yeah,
it's like there's like two people staring
Literally,
at you.
a kid
like,
got up and walked away.
It's
True story. Am I wrong? Did
It's-
that
I don't
kid get up
remember
and walk
that part.
away when we were around the fire?
No, I remember an old guy said we don't want to hear about that because my jokes are like dirty, right? So I was like midway through a joke and he's like, we don't want to hear that.
Go
And I
ahead,
was like, oh
give
my
us a
God.
joke right now.
No,
and
I'm
I'll
not
give
gonna
you a
do
rap.
that.
But we will say
Okay,
that the
you-
joke was around a bunch of like family members,
Yeah.
not of hers, but they were all family members of each other.
Oh, they
And
were
the joke
related.
included her about her pubic hair.
Yeah.
So it wasn't landing great.
It's tough. There's probably grandmas in that
So she
crowd,
learned a lesson that day.
It's a little
Yeah.
tough.
The same lesson I've learned, because the thing is, as a rapper too, is I have stories where I rapped at a party and the place explodes. So you get it in your head, like maybe
That
that'll
every
happen.
time this will happen, and
then
it does not happen every time. It's
mostly you finish and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah,
okay, that's great.
Oh, why did I do that?
Really, what could be best case
And then-
scenario that
but
they like
then-
erupt in
No,
applause?
there was a New Year's Eve
Like,
party where I rapped once because there was some local dudes rapping and they
Yeah.
weren't rappers. And then someone's like, oh, have you met so-and-so's boyfriend? He's a rapper.
Yeah.
And then so I came over and I was lit enough that they're like, rap. So I rapped and they loved it because they were over there freestyling.
You spit like your
drunk
hardest
assholes.
bars, like,
and I just
you know
gave
what
them
I
one
mean?
of my cypher verses that's
Yeah.
like ready for
Yeah.
this moment.
Ready to go.
But that's not the norm. And I spent the rest of my life chasing that dragon.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. You have to be careful because you can set yourself up for failure. Because if you bomb that, now they don't want to hear shit you do.
And the truth is, it's very hard to create the situation where it's amazing, where everyone dies laughing. Because that joke that Jess told is one of my favorite of her jokes.
Now I'm
but
curious
it's
to hear the
missing.
joke.
No, you got to see her do comedy sometime. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
do it in Miami, which also
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
speak about in a moment.
That's something we can probably work out. I don't have a driver though.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Anyways, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, the joke's one of my favorite ones, but it was lacking a lot of the ingredients required for it to even land.
Yeah.
Like, there's not enough people,
Yeah.
and they know you for such a specific reason.
You know what?
Yeah,
I recall that it
context
was
matters.
Yeah,
It's a
context
lot.
matters.
yeah.
I recall that it was actually your fault because you gave a
sounds about
punchline
right.
to one of my jokes.
Yeah, I did.
And
That's
like,
true.
and they all laughed, and they were like, "What is that from?" And I'm like,
Oh,
"Well,
well.
it's like a joke." And then I'm like, "Now I feel like I have to tell the whole thing to give you guys context." And then I did it.
And at that
yeah,
point,
it
it's
was
always
like-
lost.
But that's
At
what
that
you know.
point,
What,
it's
Yeah.
lost. It's done.
Okay, you said that like I was a part of it. Let's break this down step by
Go ahead,
step.
go
Okay,
ahead.
I was with you. I was like referencing it because I'm proud of her, and I'm actually on a bit of a run right now. And anyone who listened to the recent episodes have heard me. I'm loving Jess's comedy. I'm really proud of her. Very impressed with her joke writing. And so yeah, I make. I referenced it almost like a tag up to a joke
Yeah.
of hers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he didn't do it for everyone to hear. He
No.
just did it to me, but some people overheard.
yeah, we were around a
But he also
Campfire.
speaks
Yeah.
very loud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So there is that too.
These my microphone is actually off. I'm speaking through both of your microphones right now.
why it sounds
So then
surround
there's a
sound.
moment where Jess goes rogue. And that moment where she is this moment right here where she becomes a runaway train.
Oh no!
And
I mean, I guess it's like I have to tell it. This is Jess going rogue.
And you were going, "No, you don't.
No.
you don't."
is that
Yeah.
is that the universal signal in your mind? Are you like
No, this
don't
is
do it.
her whipping up a reason to do comedy in front of
Okay,
new people.
all right.
No, I really didn't want to. I felt awkward from the get go, but I felt like you weren't doing my joke justice.
No, yeah.
So
it
then I
wasn't
wanted
that you
to
wanted
like
to do
complete
comedy.
it.
It was just that you hadn't. She was fearless when she
Yeah.
shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh no, now's not the time.
This ain't the time,
She
boo.
was, it was like she's walking in all bold, like
Chest
I'll just
out.
tell you the joke.
Chest
And I was just
out,
like,
you know what I mean?
Oh no, babe, don't walk in so bravely. This is not going to go so well.
No, and it didn't.
It's it's a valuable lesson for any creative, man. Anytime you have to
We've
speak,
all
rap,
been there.
tell jokes, we've all been there because we
Yeah.
feel ourselves like
If you're alone with a cute girl and she
that's
asks you to
very
rap,
different.
will you rap?
Of course.
Really?
Of course I would.
I feel like that's even more awkward.
No, do you know why? Because the setting's different, right?
Yeah,
It's
true.
intimate. I can really make
It's
it about
it's a
anything
personal
and
request.
include her.
I feel like
right?
you wouldn't have done that
So-
for me.
He's also way smoother
I was about to
than
say,
me.
I don't imagine him being as smooth as I am. So I walked in with a pink hoodie. Like,
Listen, I was relatively smooth. I wasn't not smooth, but
Right.
I maybe
Right.
my smooth. See, this is the thing. I was on a regular 1 to 10 scale of smoothness, and I sort of feel like you're sitting up here in the penthouse. Of
I'm
smoothness.
probably up there. You know what I mean? Like, it's a thing that I do. I feel like you're like cobblestone smooth. You know what I mean? It's a little. It's a
I
little.
love it. You're not. Listen,
So if you're like a 10 smooth, like what would you be? Like maybe like a,
no, listen.
a 6 or
no,
7?
Regular humans are on a 1 out of 10, and I would say I'm probably a 7 out of 10 for regular people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx, for example, is not on that list.
No, yeah, he's
Jamie Foxx can fuck anybody regardless of gender.
That's God level.
preference.
That's God level smooth.
Age.
John Mayer, God level smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I remember that moment in L.A.
Yep.
Did anybody
Yep.
else remember that
We
moment?
talked about
in
that
the
on this
room?
episode.
Yeah,
so
we have
far.
an episode named after that moment.
It's quite early in the podcast. The guest on that episode was Katie. The John Mayer effect was the name.
yeah.
And yes, Tay was there in LA when we met John Mayer, and he is on that list of people who is above and beyond.
Yeah. So there's a few people
You know
that
what
are
I mean? Like-
God tier, God level.
God level tier. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that Tay is God.
Not
He's like
yet.
Thor.
Not
You're like
yet.
Thor
Yeah,
of smoothness.
God like.
Did
You
you?
know what I mean?
You were there when John
I was
Mayer was
there. I
talking.
was there.
So do you think if I was single and I really pushed for it, do
I
you
want
think
you to, I want you to
could've
think
went
about
home
this.
with him?
Don't just rattle off an answer. I want you
No,
to think about this.
I
'cause
re-
we've been debating this for a long time.
So I think that you would probably make it a tad bit challenging, right? You would make him earn it essentially.
It's LA.
Right, it
It's
is
John
LA.
Mayer.
Would
It's a
I
lot.
make
It's a lot of
you
factors,
think I would
right?
make it challenging?
Well, not
Or
so much
very
challenging,
wrong?
but
you,
it's
make,
like
you make it move, but I wonder, do you make it move for God?
right,
Right.
Or do you do you just succumb to it? Him being him, you're just in the room. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and then we're there for what? A night left or something, right?
Yeah.
So you have time against you.
I think Jess
you got to make it
figured
happen.
she could have left with him because when he
Yeah.
was on his way out,
I
they
fig-
chatted for a little bit.
Man, see?
And essentially I think what you said to me was that if you had put it out there, you think he would have been like,
Okay,
come
this-
with
this
me.
is what I would have done,
And then
okay?
you would have
Okay,
eventually.
that's what I wanna know.
This is what I would have done
I wanna
because
know
he
that.
was leaving the room
Yeah.
when we talked to him. I would have been like, "Oh, are you going outside or whatever?" And he was like, "Yeah." I'd be like, "Oh, me too." And then I would just like keep
That's
walking
it,
with him,
right? Is that-
and then you just keep talking,
And then you
What?
follow the momentum and now
yeah,
you're just with him.
and what's
'Cause-
right outside that hallway is the parking lot with
Right,
his car,
right to
I'm
the
sure.
car,
And then
yeah.
you just keep talking
Or
until
his
you kind of
driver,
head that
DO.
way.
And then everyone gets in and there's just not enough seats for just you.
Yeah. So you have
Everyone's
to.
just getting in. You're like,
Oh, like other
They
people
have-
are getting
Oh,
it?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
is it other girls or?
well, no, because he's with people, right? John
It's
Mayer,
probably, it's probably other girls.
I don't
though,
think
too.
John Mayer is ever by himself.
Right.
Like he's
Yeah,
got.
he seemed like he was kind of alone.
No,
but-
he wasn't.
Nah, he was.
He was
you
there
know.
with at least 3 people. That's by himself.
Funny anecdote though is in that same day, however you felt about John Mayer is how I felt about Dave Chappelle. So it was.
Oh no!
to go home with him.
So I did. I was like, "Yo, Dave."
I wonder if I just walked out to the parking lot with him. We could be best friends.
Just like, "Yo, what's up?" You know.
We did not notice Dave, and to be honest, we've often just amongst ourselves spoken about Dave because he's one of the only people I've ever been within 10 feet and felt that the universe is like, you
Don't do it.
You know,
Yeah.
This is not the one.
this is not a
Well,
guy you
also
just go
because
talk
we
to.
know that he's not a guy to take selfies with people. Like
Yeah.
we know
Yeah.
all this stuff about him because we're
Yeah.
such huge fans.
Yeah.
So it's like that wouldn't be the move. You would end
His
up you'd end up
personality,
regretting it.
what we
right?
know about his career
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
he isn't always embracing of super
No,
fame.
he's
You
actually
know what I
very
mean?
private. He comes
Yeah.
out very private.
We were in
very,
a
like
private
recluse.
place.
Right.
That we
right.
were- that we shouldn't
have been in there, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony.
Listen,
Shout out to
we
Tony.
had no right. We were not cool. My dick is not big enough for us to be in a bar like that.
You got to speak for yourself.
That's
in
why I
the
said
dick.
mine.
Yeah.
When I was, I'm not gonna explain
I'm
what your dick size
good.
is.
My dick's
I'm
plenty
good.
big.
I'm good. I'm just
I don't know if you're hang out with Dave Chappelle dick size tag.
no, not quite. But,
And to be
you know.
fair, you didn't approach him.
I didn't
You knew
approach-
your role.
I knew my role. That's a lesson for any creative out there, man. Just know who you are.
And mostly I do. I have great memories of like taking the plunge and going to say hi to some other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I even like I remember Louis C.K. This was pre Me Too movement.
You don't have to say that. It's okay.
No, I would still listen. No, I think it's worth for context. Because I would still approach him after,
And but your conversation would be
but
different.
his reaction to the public certainly would change after.
He'd be a little more guarded, maybe.
Yeah. And so this is before, and I walked by and I said, "Oh, Louis, I want to shake your hand," and he was like, "Keep moving."
Did he not shake your hand?
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, and I literally said, "I'm like, I'm not going to not shake your hand." Like, it was one of those like, I know this is kind
And
of
he
a
was
bad
just
look.
like, okay, keep moving.
Oh, okay, keep moving. Because you know where he was. He was at the back of the comedy club.
Yes.
As we were walking past them to our seats.
Yeah.
But again, I'm walking past him at this distance I am from Tay.
Yeah, you gotta-
I'm not going to not be like, "Oh, dude, you're one of the greats."
And also,
tough.
could he not have moved from that spot if he really didn't
all
want
the
anyone
comics
talking
were
to
in
him?
line there.
Oh, okay.
They're all watching because it was the Comedy Store. There was another famous
Yeah, who
person on
knows?
stage.
It's always
Right.
somebody
So
famous
they
on
have
the
no secret
stage.
spot they could watch from?
No, they can, but then you can't really see the show. So
Right.
he was amongst other famous comics at
Yeah.
the back of the room, and everyone else in the row walked by, and they all did this. Oh, it's Louis C.K.
Yeah, I mean,
But
And he was trying to enjoy the show.
am the number
tough.
one stand-up comedy fan I know, other than you, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's a group of us, and I know you're a comedy
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
But I collect those moments, bro. Like George Wallace followed me today on Twitter, and I checked. He only follows like 2,000 people, so I probably because I'm verified. Like, no big deal.
his grandchild is doing
But he's
that.
but he's one of the goats.
He is a goat. He's a goat.
And so I collect these experiences of just like either a digital interaction with a comedian I'm a super fan of,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
meeting them. And I often compare it to like my dad or a lot of the men I grew up with. The way they would talk about like the goalie for their favorite hockey
Yeah,
team, or like
okay, I
the
can see
quarterback. Like my dad would talk about the quarterback for the 49ers. Like if you ever met him, he's my dad's life is now worth 3 times more. I got to meet Joe Montana.
I was gonna say, what that's a
how
different
I feel
thing. It's when you
it's
meet
like I
comedy
shake
legends.
Chris Rock's hand, which by the way I've not done.
I wanted
But,
to
like-
I wanted to shake Dave's hand, but it was the time.
I think you
The life is
probably
young,
could have
sir.
Yeah.
shook his hand real quick.
yeah.
But it would
I think that would have been
It would
appropriate.
have sent ripples through the room.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It was
right?
the kind of place where
Yeah.
everybody was playing close to the chest. And
Yeah.
as it was, I think everyone could sort of see that we were tourists in a
Right.
place where tourists don't normally go.
Right.
Totally.
And so we were already making like obviously these guys aren't famous. Everyone here, everyone here is on IMDb except these 4
Except
people.
these.
I was trying to act so
Yes.
cool.
Like,
Like I was,
you gotta kinda
I was
play it
so
cool.
conscious of like how like not looking at them
I was like
constantly.
breathing out the side of my
was.
mouth, just like try to be like
Were you
everybody-
blowing out invisible smoke, like cigarette
just
smoke, like
smirking and side breathing like a cool person does.
that was cool. I just was like, I'm on my phone, like, fuck this Dave fucking Chappelle.
But you know the
Yeah.
key is
That's all I could do.
whenever you're in a situation like that, is you're on your phone, but you got to keep it.
You gotta keep
flat
it- you gotta keep
so
it
that
flat.
No one feels like you're doing this.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't
Oh
do
yeah. No,
that
I was
shit.
very
You don't
aware.
wanna-
I'm telling
And if
you.
anyone's listening, we're saying that you can't accidentally hold your phone in a way that might make it look like you're taking a secret
yeah.
picture.
especially in
Yes.
LA, paparazzi and shit. We
Yeah.
already don't belong.
We are the types of people who would.
Yeah.
I would say at least 50% of times that a comic has brought back a group of friends that are out of towners
Yeah.
and they brought them into the. And by the way, the room that we're talking about, I'm having so much fun sharing stories with Tay. I'm not even giving the necessary details. But
We've
it's
also
basically
told the story many times.
Yeah, but it's the artist's private bar in the
Yeah.
back of the Comedy Store
Yeah.
for just the comics and the like promoters and like the key people and
Yeah.
and some celebrities who are there, like in this case John Mayer.
and Jeremy Piven was there. You know what I mean?
Was he there?
Yeah, he was there. He was there.
Who's Jeremy Pippen?
Piven.
I love you just said Pippin, but
Yeah, that's.
I don't
Scottie
think I
Pippen.
knew that.
Jeremy Piven. He was there. He plays Ari Gold on
No, I know who
Entourage.
Jeremy Piven
Yeah,
is.
he was there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Wow.
could see myself missing him.
I think we were
He
so
was there.
caught up.
Well, John
failed
Mayer
him.
was
You
there.
failed
It's the
him.
John Mayer
Yeah.
effect.
It's
So
just like,
there's that.
It was not the Jeremy Piven effect.
It was not the Jeremy. Does he have an
Maybe
effect?
that's what this episode will be called. The
Does he have-
Jeremy Piven
he's
effect.
54.
Look at that.
And Jeremy Piven, ever since he got Me Too'd, has been
He's
approaching
been
stand-up
very-
comedy.
Yeah. Kind of a
I mean, why
recluse.
not, right?
A recluse.
Kind of a recluse.
When you pronounce words like that, you're immediately dignified.
Yeah, a little bit, man.
I still say he's kind of a reckless.
Oh Lord.
That's funny.
So our 1 year anniversary is coming up.
Yep.
It's on
That's
September.
what I have to
8th.
say on the subject. Yep.
I mean, 1 year
Great.
for what, the podcast, or you guys being
for
married?
our marriage
Oh, okay.
anniversary.
No, we're actually at like a year and a half of podcast. right? Something like that, right?
something like that. I think
We're
maybe
halfway
even-
through the second season.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way we do it here is every year is it's a season of the show.
Every year-ish is a season.
I never-
no, it's year.
Oh,
I never
I
wish.
run that side of the business.
I never wish like misfortune, on love and romance.
I hope you're like,
but
on you guys.
But-
I hope you guys. Really
I want to
crash and
know.
burn.
I want to know that if you guys like got divorced, if it was like high profile, would you do a podcast about it?
Oh, that's
would you do
I
an
think
episode
we
on it?
would.
An interview and have a mediator.
This is oh,
An arbitrator.
Would we have a podcast about the divorce, or would we keep the podcast after the divorce?
Nah, about the divorce and
we
after.
have a business that we would have to probably
You have
keep
to,
after
or
the
you got to
divorce.
split it.
Let me answer that
So I
question
gotta give it to Callie.
my way, which is this: yes to both.
Okay.
Because the way I know us is if we got divorced, it's very unlikely to be a nasty thing and way more likely to be maybe we don't want to be married this next 10 years. I just mean like
But we can hang
amicable
out
breakup.
So we did 10 years.
But we can hang out still.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that I think about,
Yeah.
but I just mean, for example, I feel pretty confident that Jess would never ever be unfaithful. I know in my heart I'll never be unfaithful. The only way I think we would ever break up is on some like things aren't great. You want to try not being married,
Yeah.
which I think is like a respectful way to end a situation. in
No,
your
it's
life.
good. I
By
just
the way,
thought
I have no
the way
plans
you
for
guys
this.
are. Yeah,
it's just
don't-
the only thing I could
This is
see.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that happened and we had a hit podcast, even it's at the level of what like Lyric Vids is doing now, where it pays the bills for us, I think I could see myself like looking at her and being like, do you want to keep doing it? Because I could do it.
There
would be
is a
interesting.
podcast, a famous podcast of a divorced couple, and they have guests on and stuff, and they don't hit on that hard. But
No.
I remember them saying it that they were together and it didn't work out or whatever.
Imagine
I forget who they
riding
were.
out
Shit happens.
through the divorce on the
air.
podcast.
Yeah.
I think
Like as
that
in,
would be
basically we do
it'd be
one
interesting.
right after we decide, so we'd
Yeah.
be talking on the air.
We have our papers today. We're gonna sign them on air.
sign them on the podcast. That's hilarious.
Okay, we need to get divorced now.
This would be the greatest
You guys-
promotion.
yeah, you guys
ever.
thank
And
me
we'll
for
be
that.
Secretly married behind the scenes.
Still, yeah. Then it's a scandal.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Canadians don't really have a lot of scandals. Do you?
Secret marriage.
Or do you guys? I mean, I guess you guys
Divorce
do. But
themed podcast.
And called Damaged Goods.
Oh,
like a
yeah, called
Damaged
Damaged
Goods,
Goods.
a divorce
shit.
podcast.
Yeah, you guys,
Yeah, that's smart.
I just want 10% of whatever the business does.
And then I start coming in late with hickeys.
I'm a makeup artist, so I can like make up the money.
What are you saying? I can't go get my own hickeys?
So first of all, you guys.
Not if we're fake divorce.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're really married.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Who gets Callie?
I get Kelly.
Okay, so
for
in
sure.
a real divorce, Jess would get Callie.
Okay, all right. But in a fake divorce,
In a fake divorce, I think still Jess would get Callie, so it would be believable.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
You post more pictures with her too, so.
Man, that's cute. Those are cute pics.
But we're not getting divorced. We're happily married.
they seem
Never been
happily
this happy in my
married.
life.
And we're almost married for a year now.
Yep.
Are you guys
Congrats.
warm? And
No,
do I
we're
have
warm.
a fever?
You're warmer than we are.
Okay.
Yes.
But it is warm.
I'm like dripping.
Yeah, it's a
sweat
little.
here.
It's,
We have-
it's a little toasty.
Studio lights and our signs.
sign,
We're getting
yeah.
blasted.
Can I
And
can I put on the fan because it's not going to be that loud?
only if you turn it on one.
Yeah, I'll put it on
yeah,
one.
but don't go to.
But anyways, first
1.5. Don't do that.
yeah.
It is like
So our anniversary's coming up.
Yes.
And what are we doing for it, babe?
We're going to a very special person's hometown. Or
There's
not
almost
hometown,
no way to say
current
your
town.
city without sounding like a tourist. It's kind of like Jamaica, where I want to say like Miami. But
Yeah.
Canada, you know.
that shit's overrated though. Of
course
I don't
it is.
care. Right? When you live wherever you live, it's overrated. Of
course
you
it is.
kind of know the ins and outs and whatever. But for you guys, it should be sexy.
Yeah, for 7 days.
Yeah, it should be
It's
sexy.
definitely the magic doesn't wear
I'll
off
come
in
crash the
7.
party.
Why
a
do you
little bit.
still live there if you feel like it's overrated?
I got someone pregnant, and
Oh, yeah.
I like the kids. So
Yeah, you have a
Yeah.
beautiful kid.
I
Yes, it's
forgot
my
about
baby
that.
girl.
And the weather's nice there, which is
It's hot as fuck.
Yeah, so I guess you could
It's
move
hot as
somewhere in the
hell.
middle
We
because
like
you're
that,
originally
though.
from Chicago, right?
Yeah. So originally from Chicago, which
Yep.
if no one knows, geographical plane is the same as Toronto.
Yeah, so it's cold and-
It's cold, but summers are hot. Whatever. Miami's hot all the time, just all the time. So I actually avoid going out during the day most times, which is weird. I drive a convertible down there, so I'm very much Miami.
Listen,
It's very weird. I live a
hard
weird
life.
life. Don't look. Guys, don't judge me, okay?
What color is
Sorry
your
about that.
convertible?
It is white.
White convertible
White
Tay.
convertible.
Wow,
That's
there's
actually what
nothing
they
more
call them
Miami
in
than
Miami.
that.
That's exactly what they
Does it have
call
like
me.
neon lights in the interior at night?
They're getting installed right now.
But while we're there, we're gonna do some Miami fun things.
Of course, like jet skis and shit.
I was gonna say maybe
Yeah.
jet skis.
so
Whole-
today I
whole
pulled a
jet ski.
classic Ill Vibe and J-Rob move. I was emailing like promoters on some like I represent like a best-selling like Canadian R&B star and I didn't ask for any special treatment.
Yeah.
because everyone just says email us for reservations. So I just basically led every reservation email with like, I manage a Canadian R&B star. We're in Miami for a week. Would love to get rates because I just feel like one of them will be like, oh, we're happy to waive
Rates for the
they don't tell you anything because we're like, no. Like for example, it's like a pool bar or like a rooftop bar, and all of them say go to reservations at email for pricing and to book a cabana or a table or just whatever, just even to come to the party.
Yeah.
So I did like because Jess used to do that for me all the time.
Where you guys staying though when you go?
We got an Airbnb that's directly between South Beach and Miami Beach.
Which is for people who don't know, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean,
South Beach though is like
we're literally directly between the two spots on the map that are called that, so we can kind of have access to both those.
Yeah, there's like South Beach, the obvious like extra touristy part, and then
I think that's
North
what I mean.
Beach is considered Miami Beach, but it all runs up.
I believe our area is called Mid Beach.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, there's a mid beach. There's definitely a mid beach.
So that's where I believe where our Airbnb is.
Yeah.
Careful, don't make fun of me on my podcast.
Nah, this is
It was
yours.
close.
I
It
don't
was
wanna
very
do that.
close.
So where you live, is it near the touristy area or
no, not at all.
You live in the city.
I live actually in between Fort Lauderdale and Miami.
Okay, cool. Like up the coast.
Yeah, no, it's more inland.
Yeah.
So, but I'm 30 minutes either way, Miami to or Fort Lauderdale. If I decide,
Is it
whichever
an
way.
hour from Miami to Fort Lauderdale?
No, not even. You can jump on 95 and it's maybe 45 minutes.
And you live in the middle, so it's like cool.
But I live in the middle and then west. Everything's east there. But I mean, Miami is a good time for sure. Like it's everything everyone thinks. But when you live there, it's expensive as shit.
Of course,
You know what I mean? So it just becomes a little like mundane after a while. Everyone comes in town. You got to go and do like that South Beach shit.
Yeah.
You got to start pulling resources.
So pretty much he's dreading us coming.
No, but I'm going to do it. Like I'm going to do it. I didn't say no. I read the.
I did.
I am dreading it,
I read
but I'm not going to say no.
I read the message. I was like, oh shit. All right, great. So when you guys come in, that's perfect. That's how I do that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're really excited
for
about
you to begrudgingly host us.
Yeah, that's it.
That's sort of how I feel about Vegas. There's most of those touristy places I don't fuck with. I finally burnt out on Amsterdam, for example.
Yeah.
Like I love Netherlands, but I think I'm done with the like downtown Amsterdam. And I'll still fly through. I'll still do a night.
Yeah.
If the homies are there in particular, go see people I love. But
it's just one of those things. I don't ever want to discourage anyone from like traveling and getting out.
No.
When you've done it a bunch of times,
been 12
it
times or
sounds
something.
jaded. I forget it.
Well, no, I
R&B
think
star here.
No, I think the key is it's like anybody who lives anywhere near a major city knows what we're talking about.
Exactly.
If you live near New York City or Los Angeles or Las Vegas or Paris or London or Amsterdam, the really touristy part, after a while, that's not the city to you.
It's
That's
not the city.
not your country's culture to you. It's almost like a gift shop.
Yeah.
But like a whole downtown core that's just one giant gift shop, which is fine. And I even think it's cool that they exist so that you want to go to Paris and Amsterdam and Barcelona and like visit all these really tourist safe zones.
Yeah.
Cool. But once you've done it 4 times, 5 times, I don't think it's elitist to start being like, I want to go to some places that aren't gift shops.
Yeah.
I want to go to some places that have like some other shit.
You start noticing too, like the hustle that is the big city, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. They get you coming and going. So.
Every single morning they're all showing up being like, the tourists are coming, baby.
Yeah.
High-fiving each other. Like, get ready. You're ready to oversell
got some
tickets.
dude some dude giving a rundown on what to do, what to look for. Look for the people with backpacks.
Yeah, 100%.
So when people come to Miami, do you do like clubbing? Do you do like that type of stuff?
So everyone actually comes to Miami kind of looking for different things, right? So it's a big like strip club culture, and it's a big like flashy rappers and artists or athletes. They go to all these big clubs, so they want to do that or at least have access there, right?
Yeah.
So I know people in all these different places. So usually I'll just plug them there, and then I'll keep.
Oh
it
yeah, I
moving.
forgot that when me and my friend Nikki went to Miami a couple years ago, you had your manager come and bring us into that one club. Do you remember the name of it?
It was probably Club Live.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Live is the biggest one.
Yeah, that was
there.
It was insane. Just like confetti falling from the ceiling everywhere.
It's crazy.
And
it's crazy. And but again, everyone wants that experience, and I get it. After you live there, I don't need.
Can we hang out with Fat Joe?
It's possible. He's medium Joe now.
He is medium-sized Joe now.
He is medium-sized Joe.
Medium-sized Joe down on
Medium-sized
Mid-Beach.
Joe is mid-beach. It's possible. Funny thing, the city that I actually live in, Fat Joe lives over there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
oh wow.
Yeah.
So you might have the hookups.
You might have the hookup.
That's awesome.
Me and Cool and Dre go to the same gym.
So speaking of Miami strip clubs, I wanted to like ask about strip clubs in general in the U.S. and just okay, let me tell you.
Why
this.
would you assume Tay knows anything about strip
Well,
clubs?
clearly
I just
because I'm a
mean-
gentleman and gentleman clubs are for me. So that's true. A place where I
Okay, just checking.
Don't act
place
like he
for me.
doesn't. So when we see movies and stuff and
Yeah.
like shows, it's
Like
always
this new
like,
Cardi movie. Looks
Cardi
good.
and J Lo.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
even
go
on
see
like
that.
Insecure. You watch Insecure?
I love
yeah, so
Insecure.
good.
I love Issa Rae.
When they go to the strip club in the one scene or whatever, it's like a fucking party. It's like a nightclub but with girls dancing and like
Correct.
there's girls there having
Naked
fun.
girls,
There's
yeah.
guys there having
Yeah.
fun. It's
Yeah.
like young people and stuff. When I go to a strip club here, there's like no young people. It's all like old dudes. It's
all
quiet.
truck drivers. Meanwhile, there's no
it's like
trucks out
quiet
front.
and smoky and gross and like
They came over in
it's
Uber.
not a party. It's just like seedy and sketchy.
Yeah.
Is it just like Miami and Atlanta and stuff in the States that have like fun strip clubs? Or
I mean, most major cities are gonna have a good strip club, right? Good
Yeah.
strip club culture. But what's funny is state to state the rules change.
Yeah.
So if you're more in the South, then you can go full nude, right? And you can have open liquor. If you're in the North, you can't be full nude and have liquor. So it's either topless and liquor or full nude no liquor. So it's a very kind of weird thing, right?
so they don't have liquor at the full
and
nude
some
ones?
in some places in the northern states.
That would change the dynamics
The place
so
that I
bad.
went
does.
to in Nashville, remember, it was you had to bring your own booze because
Yeah,
they couldn't
BYOB.
sell it.
Yeah.
Oh, and you could bring your own.
So
Okay, so that's
sometimes,
different.
but sometimes,
Some, yeah, depending on
it
the
just
state.
it really depends. But
was
when
Tennessee.
you're in Miami and Atlanta, those are probably the two.
So what's
the
Miami
biggest
strip
ones.
club like?
So what's crazy though, Miami strip club is also like the business meeting place for Miami. There's a lot of business that happens.
Let's
in
do some
strip
business.
clubs.
I'm into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Drake said.
Can you bring a laptop?
And I forgot what song it was.
Printer?
He says second floor Tootsie's getting shoulder rubs. Tootsie's is a very famous
That's
strip club in Miami.
Drake something.
Yeah, I forgot what song, but it's a very famous strip club and they have a second floor. Everyone knows that's where the elite go when they go to Tootsie's, and that's where they get business done. So it's a different vibe there. You know what I mean? Strip clubs in Miami.
If
And
we would go to a strip club, which one should we go to?
oh no, I gotta take you to like a semi-ratchet strip club. I want you to feel like you may get shot, but you won't actually get shot. 'Cause I want you
That's
to.
what I don't want.
Yeah,
But
right.
is it a
I want you to- I want
party
you to
or
be-
is it like a seedy place?
No, it's gonna be a party.
Yeah, no, that's all that
It's
that matters.
gonna be a
yeah.
party,
Yeah.
for sure. But it's like, do
could
they
rock
have a
strip
gun? I don't know.
Oh, that's
Oh, I don't
okay.
want. Nobody shoots the patrons.
Yeah.
Spending money.
That's also true.
Yeah,
they don't.
We
You know
won't
what I
be
mean?
buying Coke or anything,
No,
so I think we'll be okay.
A cola.
We'll bring our
a
own.
cola, right?
Yeah.
A cola,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
No,
would-
no cops are listening
Yeah,
to this podcast.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
We have
I didn't know.
exclusively
I
police
didn't know.
listening.
Listen. I am black and American. It's different. It's different for me.
That's true. You got to be.
It's a little different for me.
I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Yeah, like I'll be about to tweet something about Trump and then be like, I wonder if this will ever bite me in the ass. Like right as I'm like going through customs, they're just
Yeah.
like, did you say?
That dude's petty like that. You gotta watch that
Yeah.
guy. He's petty like that.
Oh my gosh, that is a perfect segue to this thing I wanted to ask if you knew about, well, both of you, if you knew about, did you hear about like the straws thing with Trump? This isn't that recent. It's like
No.
a few months ago.
What is it?
So basically, it's just like the pettiest shit in the world. He basically is selling Trump plastic straws on his website. And like the slogan is liberal paper straws don't work. Buy these Trump plastic straws. That shit
First
is
of all-
so petty.
First of all, he is a walking capitalist. He cracks me up.
He should sell those like rings that like kill birds and dolphins.
Yeah.
But like just with his name on it. Not even
Those
with,
like those pop holders,
not even
like
with
the
pop
six-pack
though,
holders.
just the holder.
And then he'll also find a way to blame Obama for it.
No, Obama
I think
definitely
he
did that.
definitely did that. So
Yeah.
that's always funny.
Isn't that hilarious?
That's really funny.
You know,
my God.
you know what's tough about that is being an artist from the States who travels, right, go to all these different countries. Somehow I represent Trump whenever I go. Like,
yeah.
At least you're black. Because
Well,
if you were white,
exactly,
I think
right.
you would have to actually sit down with people and like convince them you did not vote Trump.
First of all, they think that I know him, right? They walk up, yo, what's up with
Just
your
like
boy?
Drake.
Yeah,
What's up with your
For
boy?
us, you're Trump.
Wait, who's my boy? Oh, Trump. Yeah, I don't know that guy. I don't know him. So it's a lot of that every time I go anywhere, and it's a unique thing, man. The fucking politics, man. They all suck because they're all richer than us, and they're all make sure they keep separate lines. But and then living in Miami, where the culture is a lot of like a lot of different cultures, a lot of minorities there. It's a tough thing, you know, with all these, they do a lot of immigration raids. And
Is Miami close to any border?
It's it's a peninsula in itself, right?
It's the crossing spot from where? Cuba?
Cuba's there. Cuba's 90 miles.
You can like damn near swim or something.
Yeah. Well, Cuba's 90 miles, so you're a hell of a swimmer if you can do that. But
no, you can't. Damn near is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Yeah, that's a lot. But it's
like little
Cuba.
boats.
Yeah, little boats. There's an Elian. He did that a couple years, in the 90s, I think. Elian Gonzalez. Yeah, no, okay, cool. No, we don't know that. Y'all can Google that. But you know, DR, Dominican Republic, and all that stuff. Like, so you get a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing for a lot of them out there doing all these ICE raids and
Do you hear a lot about the ICE raids?
I hear a lot about them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I hear a lot about it. It's a lot of undocumented, citizens out there. I don't even. I'm kind of on the fence, and I have to be careful because, you know, I get the idea and the concept. I do not fuck with at all the separation of the families.
No, yeah, like the way they're going about it, for sure.
You know, there has to be a better way to do it.
Yeah.
And then if you talk to anyone who's gone through the process legally, it takes 10 fucking years to become a citizen.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot, you know, that goes with it. But he's the poster child of everything that's kind of wrong with the country. So
we've been watching Orange is the New Black, the final season. Do you watch it or no?
I do.
Have you been watching the final season?
I'm only on like episode 6 right now.
Yeah, so we're
about the same.
We're maybe a little ahead of you, but not far.
The girl is in the immigration.
But they've been, so for any listeners who aren't watching, and even if you do watch, I won't spoil anything mega.
Yeah, no
but
spoilers.
one of the
Damn that, I do spoilers.
The premises of the new season is that they're looking at not just the prison, but some of the girls have ended up in one of the
like detainee centers.
For illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
And that story is so frustrating, and so like they're painted into a corner essentially where they aren't American, so they have no rights. So any of the things that you would assume that they can have a phone call, a lawyer, they don't have any. They don't have any of those things.
Yeah.
And they're just left.
Or they make it very, very hard for them.
Very difficult.
Very difficult for them
They
to get
say
it.
they have certain rights, but then they don't give them any
The
of the
resources
things.
for
And that's the
it.
thing is, even let's just say some of the rights they don't have, but let's say, okay, you do have this right. Well, if they don't give it to you, who are you going to complain to? There's no infrastructure for you to complain.
There's nothing for it.
You're in the
There's
wrong
nothing
country,
there.
so there's nobody. So there's no elevation above the people that are repressing you, these guards or whatever. And granted, we are watching a fictional show, but I'm certain even if you were to cut
But the stories are rooted in truth.
even if you were to cut the
you
stories
know.
in half, okay,
Yeah.
it's still insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm certain that that they're not going at like a 4 or 5x reality. That's not the voice of the show. They tend to take examples of the worst and retell it. You know, so it's very, very frustrating. And I always empathize, but certainly when you're watching this, what it's made me feel is that they're attempting to do an impossible thing, and instead of just acknowledging that it's impossible and finding ways to deal with that, they're fighting an uphill battle that ends up hurting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's an extremist reaction to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a knee jerk. It's to appease a certain demographic.
Yeah.
And it's like, get them out of here. But no one's from the fucking U.S. No one except Native Americans. That's it. So outside of that, it's a very weird thing, and I know a lot of people have been affected by it. So it becomes very arduous to deal with that when you travel abroad.
Mm-hmm.
When it's like, what's up with your boy? Now I have to answer for a president I didn't vote for.
One of my favorite things to do is to freestyle a solution that I'm well aware is poorly thought out. I made it up right now.
Okay, cool.
To make a point of how bad the government is at coming up with solutions. Okay, this is my solution I made up right now.
Go ahead.
Everyone can stay.
Ooh.
But you have to give us your information. You have to sign up, and you have to follow the rules, or you go.
I feel like that's more than fair, though, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you can all stay, but to stay, you have to come in and give us your name and information and register, so you're Americans and we know who you are.
Yeah.
And then you have to follow the rules. And if you don't, you're on a 0 strike policy.
Yeah.
You're out if you don't follow the rules. I feel like what an amazing. I'm just giving myself so much credit right now, but like, in terms of PR, the positivity of like everyone can stay. The media would eat that up. Everyone can stay. Everyone can stay.
They would know what to do with that shit.
And if they leave, it's because they broke a law. So you can point immediately at.
Well,
we just caught them with coke, so they gotta go. Or we just, you know what I mean?
Well, then at that point you'll have the
And a number of them will
extremists.
go.
Well, you have the extremists though, like planning the drugs on them and fucking, you know.
Yeah, there's still lots of things that go wrong with that.
Listen, you always poke holes in an idea I've not thought out
Sorry
at all,
about
for
that.
sure.
And where
That's
do you
why.
draw the line? Like if they just steal if their kid steals something from a corner store.
I hate when someone goes, where do you draw the line? We could draw the fucking line.
Yeah,
Draw-
no, you're
draw
right.
the line.
Violence,
I'm just
drugs that
devil's
kill
advocate.
people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost in everything. Whenever it's like, but I mean, where do you draw the line? I'm like,
Okay,
easy.
so violence.
Weapons, violence.
Their violence. What if their 17-year-old kid
Yeah.
beats up a kid at school?
Under 18, he's good.
Okay, what if their 18-year-old kid beats up a kid at school?
Does the kid go to the hospital?
Yes.
Gone. He's an adult. You put him in the hospital.
But see, here's some of those weird things, right? In the States.
Under 18, didn't put him in the hospital. Over 18, put him in the hospital. That's my line.
Here's some of those weird things in the States, right? Some states, weed is legal. Some states, weed is not. What if
Yeah.
you're traveling from Florida where weed is, I don't think Florida, weed is legal. I don't smoke, by the way, to the people wondering. But, you know, there's certain states where weed is legal. So what happens there? You know what I mean?
No deportations. No deportations for weed. This is
That's it. There's
President
no,
Obama says
Yeah.
weed
No-
is not on the list.
no
of course.
deportations
No,
for
but I
weed.
think violent crimes
Violent crimes will
and
work.
selling drugs that can hurt a community or like potentially kill somebody.
Okay.
And it's not just specific to this. I think same thing with prisons in general. It's like, oh, you had weed out, no problem. Oh, you did like most things. I'm like, the prison
Yeah.
system's crazy. Violent crimes, for sure. You're
Yeah,
selling
of course.
drugs that could kill a person on one try. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But
I would
for the other
say
stuff-
tweet this to Trump, but you guys are banned, so there's that too.
I was once banned in America. I'm back and I'm trying not to make it happen a second time.
Bernie was on Joe Rogan recently.
Loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Bernie.
What are your thoughts on Bernie?
Well, I like Bernie as a person. I like what he's always stood for. I haven't caught the latest thing he's done with Joe.
Are you
Yeah.
going to vote for Trump again, or are you going to vote for?
I mean, I have to do it again. I got to stay consistent.
Yeah,
right? Why not? Because that's my boy.
That is your boy.
So
I'm going to snap just that.
blacks for Trump.
Is there anybody you're excited about for?
Nope. AOC maybe. So, and the reason why I like anyone who comes in and tries to ruffle the feathers of whatever. Here's the thing: the more you learn about politics, you start learning that they all hang out when the cameras are off, right? Like they all kind of run certain and similar
Not
circles.
all. Bernie doesn't hang with those.
I don't.
people.
You're right. He's too old to hang.
Same
with
thing. No, but
anybody.
we'll go younger.
But
My guy's Andrew Yang. Same thing. He's not hanging.
not hanging, but they
Yang
run.
don't hang.
They run certain circles, man. They have to.
Not
That's
these
the idea of
candidates.
politics.
What I love about right now is there are. Yeah, I'm the most political I've ever been right now because it's like shit got so fucked
it's
up.
interesting,
They got me
too,
off the bench.
so.
You know what I mean? Like I was over on the bench being like, man, this whole system's fucked up. I don't care. And then it got worse. It's like, man, it's still pretty fucked up. I don't care. And then it got worse. It's like, I mean, I guess I should just vote against these assholes. And so I've kind of got off the bench and now I've kind of gotten a little political. But what I'm excited about when it comes to someone like Bernie or Yang is that their entire foundation is on. They don't have any prior relationship with these people.
Well, sort of.
Yang is like
Sort of.
90% publicly funded with donations under $1,000.
He is.
Bernie's similar.
But Bernie's been in the game for a long time. So
Yeah, but
you know
he's
what I mean.
mostly calling these motherfuckers out.
No, he does.
And he's been consistent.
I
Which is
don't
what I
buy that
like.
Bernie's faking
See
it.
old interviews from him from like
I was
a
gonna
long
say
time
that.
ago.
See, that's my thing with Bernie is I'm all for the guy who challenges the status quo of what politics is currently. So I'm with that. I just hope Bernie could say a lot. Bernie should be our
He's
president
not
now.
that old. He's not any older than
McCain.
Trump, is
Like,
he?
He's not McCain.
Or like
I think
much
he's- I think he's
older.
older.
Check.
I think he's older than
The third person I'm excited about is Mayor Pete. Do you know
Who's
about
Mayor-
Mayor Pete?
who's Mayor Pete?
So Mayor Pete, it was a mayor, I think from the Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. somewhere.
77. That's pretty old.
Okay, how old's Trump? From Pennsylvania. And Pete is a gay
Shout out
mayor
to Bernie.
who is running for president.
I don't know if they're like,
73.
wow, not much. Okay,
So he's 4 years older than Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So the gay mayor from somewhere in Philly.
He's speaking a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He's the kind of dude that if you were to talk to, you're like, oh, he's the most like. I could just ask him questions. He would answer my questions like I would answer them. And he's got enough traction. I know who he is. You know what I mean? Like he's doing major media and everyone calls him Mayor Pete because he's already the mayor of this like city in
So
Pennsylvania.
he already has
Is he
like a
going
catchy
for
name.
president?
Yeah, he's running for he's running for the
Like whatever,
like the
Yeah, it's a Democratic
nomination.
and a Republican nomination.
So he
the Democrat
truthfully,
nom-
I don't think Mayor Pete stands a chance. I think Yang is blowing up as the kind of underdog candidate.
Yeah,
and
the dark horse.
And Bernie is kind of a little bit ahead of where he was last time, which he's still kind of a dark horse, but slightly closer to center,
which is weird though. In the first one,
for him.
I was very shocked as to why people did not go Bernie's way against
Bernie
Hillary.
had won.
though.
I honestly think the whole future of America would have pivoted in that moment.
Yeah, of course. He's the old guy that has fresh ideas. And he's around, enough young people who wants to challenge that. So,
because I don't.
but we chose a reality.
We're not
star.
Hillary people over here. I mean, and to be honest, this is probably the first real Trump-centric conversation we've had, maybe even since he's got elected.
Again, blacks for Trump. Also, do not name this episode that. I want to put that out there.
Bro, we're not trying to get banned on any more social media sites.
He might let you back on if you say that.
We'll get
We'll get shadow banned by Zuck.
You might he retweet that without listening to it.
You're not wrong. Without even listening to a single moment.
I can't be a sacrificial lamb for that. Sorry.
So Joe had Bernie on and was upset at the one thing that people were drawn to after the podcast airs, and that was Bernie saying that if there are UFOs and he becomes president,
I saw that headline.
Then he will
reveal the secret of aliens or some shit.
So it's really good.
I'll have to check it out because I like Joe Rogan. I think I like the way
really
he
powerful.
interviews.
They
everyone.
really say some shit in that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, the alien thing is hilarious.
Yeah, and that was just like a small moment of the podcast, but like everyone's freaking out.
Well, because
about
of course, right? This is on the heels of everyone crashing Area 51.
Yes.
So.
Politics has yet to realize it, and maybe I'm wrong because the history of politics says I'm wrong. But I feel like we're going to hit a threshold soon. Maybe that's next year. Maybe that's after I die. I don't know. Where somebody realizes if the dude talks like the way you talk to me, or you look me in the eye and say, man, I looked into it and that's the cheapest we can do this for, I'll vote for you until you're out of politics. Because I actually try. There's zero candidates on either side anyone feels that way about.
Well, they can't because
except maybe now Bernie, but even Bernie's sort of like a crazy outside the box candidate, and it even seems that he knows that. And it's almost like he's running because no one else is doing the thing that they should just be doing, which is just being like, so this is the deal, guys. It's really expensive to run healthcare, and like let me just break it down for everybody super transparently.
Right.
Zero candidates talk like this
because they won't
in any modern country.
They won't, man.
But at some point, I feel like, and this is completely random, I'm making it up.
No
somebody will realize that there is power in that. There's a generation of
power
us
transparency
that would vote for you just for speaking to us like that.
But you know what? It's our generation, right? Politics are still pandering to the old middle age.
But we're in our 30s, so we're close.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. That generation is gonna die off, right?
Yeah.
We're
been waiting for old white people to die. Trust
forever.
me.
Oh my God, as a young black dude here.
Did you know that seniors over a certain age, I don't know if it was over 75 or something like that, has doubled in like the past, like all my numbers are wrong.
No, it's
are you saying old people are reproducing?
And here's the big thing: they're giving birth to old people.
Yeah.
They're bypassing all the other ages.
Hey, welcome to the world. Social Security check.
Did what I say make sense?
And that's definitely starting in Florida at the retirement center.
It was, we have Florida man down there, so that's a whole thing anyway. So that's funny. The old people are reproducing. Oh, they're old people.
So it won't actually end that soon because right now there's the most old people in America than there's ever been.
I think there's always going to be because the population keeps growing. So in theory, there's always
also people are living long. People are living longer,
and people are living longer.
So there's that.
Oh, because we're having compounds.
We got rid of that smallpox.
We've got 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, and
shout out to whoever did that.
I thought you were saying shout out smallpox.
No.
Really use around smallpox right about now.
That's a good episode title.
It would free up some treadmills at the gym for sure.
Definitely the whatever this shit is. What's this thing?
Elliptical.
And if you think about it, we'd get rid of the sweatiest people first.
Yeah.
So general overall hygiene would just go up a little.
I like it.
Let's bring smallpox back.
You actually have a pretty good plan there.
I'm bringing smallpox back. Yeah.
No.
Oh, are you trying out your R&B chops again? What's happening there?
So speaking of the people raiding Area 51 thing, have you guys heard the latest development on that?
No, I haven't. Turning into a festival, right?
Yeah. You said no, I haven't, and then you said what?
Who's doing it though? The guy who did the Fire Fest?
Well, this is the thing is. I don't think so, right? But I believe that anyone who's going to be like, wait, everyone's going to the desert festival, it does not sound like a great premise for
Again,
the complex
who's
business
doing
of
it?
music.
Ja Rule
Let me
and that
tell you
other
the
guy.
deets.
Yeah, give us, babe.
So it is.
We can just keep guessing, or Jessica
Yeah.
tells us.
Or I can tell you the stuff that I've carefully
I just
planned
want
to discuss.
to. I want to hear if it's Ja Rule. They kind of cut to that. No.
It's not Ja Rule.
Shit.
It's 50. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
I give you permission to speak.
There you go. You won't be getting divorced anytime soon. You're good. Keep it up.
So the guy who made the Facebook page that said that they were going to raid Area 51, the Facebook page got taken down because he said that it was a joke or whatever. It's the same guy, so he's like, it was a joke, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a festival instead.
What?
And then while Aerosmith's
gonna have a
playing on the main
party.
stage,
Yeah.
we're gonna sneak around the back.
No, yeah, so it's very close to Area 51. It's near a town called Rachel, or Rochelle, maybe, and it has a population of under 100 people, and
The
basically.
city?
The town, yeah.
Okay.
Not
they have
after this.
one
They're all getting
convenience
knocked up this
store,
weekend.
one convenience store, like one restaurant.
Yep.
So basically, people are comparing it to Firefest because people are going to be in the
Yeah,
desert with no
yeah.
water.
Yeah.
They're going to be
wow.
going into this town because the festival's like right next to the town, trying to get food, trying to get water, and the townspeople are like, "We don't want these people here."
I was just waiting for the complaint.
They're gonna
from the
have
town.
guns?
Yeah, they're like,
There's-
fuck
And they're gonna
this.
be like,
They don't
"Stay the
have
fuck
they don't have
away."
an infrastructure for it at all.
The
Bro, this
other
sounds like a great movie.
Is that it's going to be a great movie.
Can't wait. Woody Harrelson will definitely play the mayor of that town.
Yes, that's
And it'll also be on Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah.
like
Not coming to drink our water.
And the festival
Called Area
is
52.
supposed to be the same time as the raid, which was like September 22nd. So it's coming up. There's no way they have time to organize anything. It's the
Dude,
same thing as
Is
Firefest.
that-
we need
I was
to
gonna
send
say.
out
I was
immediately.
just gonna say. Do they accept hip hop acts?
We
I want
need
to
to
go.
send
Primarily
EPKs
EDM,
then.
but you guys could try.
I need them to pay me in advance. though.
Comedian, you should
Whatever.
go. Let's
Yeah.
send our press kits.
Unless he tells you to tell a joke on the spot, because you got to be ready
Yeah,
for
the
that.
resume is just a knock joke in the middle of the page.
I'm gonna go. Is there any information on the web outside of like his Facebook?
Yes. No, there's a full website.
A whole
tickets.
website and everything, like WordPress or
yeah.
like
Yeah.
do they?
No,
really-
it's a legit.
Yeah, like legit.
Geocities.com
It's a legit website
Area 51.
Angelfire.
Angelfire.com/Area 51 Fest.
with a flaming text.
Oh my gosh, Fire Effects Part 2. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna go.
So from Area 51 to Hong Kong.
So I've been
come with me.
I've been seeing.
Come with
some
me to
things,
Hong
but
Kong.
What's
Wait,
happening
what?
in Hong Kong?
We're going from Area 51
Yeah.
to Hong Kong.
To Hong Kong.
Not-
Okay.
How
There's, and
long
I'm,
was
I'm
this
gonna
flight?
add like
That's
a 3D,
the
I'm gonna
tour?
add like a 3D graphic where it pulls up from Area 51 and the Earth spins. And it goes down in Hong Kong.
Okay, can we
in the
just
podcast.
can we
Yeah,
just
I'm
go
gonna do that.
Can we just go through the center of the earth?
You know, let's not do that. Let's
Okay.
just talk about Hong Kong.
All right, cool.
So you guys heard about this protests?
I saw some.
It's
footage.
so cliche to be podcasted, like, so you guys have heard this
Yeah, I
thing.
know.
Well, now we're gonna talk about it.
I'm letting you
Sorry,
guys be cliche.
I'm
That's
better.
your thing.
I'm better than this. There are protests happening right now in Hong Kong, and I looked it up because I wanted to know what the fuck was going on.
Right.
Because my understanding of Hong Kong was always that it's one of the most like civilized little pieces of Earth on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the place with the least amount of violence and shit's good in Hong Kong.
This is kind of racist, but I've never really thought about Hong Kong, to be honest.
It's because it's a
it's
little,
small, right?
it's a tiny country that the UK owned for a little while and China owned for a little while, and now it's its own thing.
Oh, it's not true. My sister had a pen pal from Hong Kong.
Okay, so you thought about it then.
I did think about it then.
Okay. How long ago was this?
Back when people had pen pals.
Like
Back when people
20
had
years
pens.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
pals.
And pals.
And pals.
Now we don't have any of those
No
things.
new pals.
We just have followers.
No new
There you
pals.
go.
Might be the name of the episode.
That's it.
Okay, so protests are happening right now in Hong Kong, and this is why. I'm learning about it. You guys can learn about it with me.
There you go.
I think it matters. Okay, the first protests were in March, but now things have heated up and they've been going for 10, and this weekend is 11 weeks straight, with it
That's a
sometimes as
long
many
time.
of hundreds of thousands of people protesting at the same time.
It's a lot. I'm curious to know.
This is what they're protesting. Hong Kong is the government of Hong Kong is putting forward a new bill, a new government law. Was what I was going to say, but I'm
Probably
better than that. A
It's
new
probably a bill. Yeah, there you go.
It's called an extradition treaty that basically would allow China to pull certain civilians out and be extradited into China, where the laws are significantly less in the like average person's favor. And it would also allow politicians in Hong Kong to basically pick people out of the population and be like to China and like just banish them from the country, which they fear is what's going to happen is someone like Trump would be like, Yang, China, and China.
For what reason?
That's a,
like
yeah.
race, like race reason?
Because that already happens in China.
Right.
And in a lot of these countries where politics is even more corrupted than it is in the Western world. It's even more like they work with the gangs behind the scenes, and things are very sketchy. And Hong Kong is a little safe haven where they've got these great laws to protect themselves.
Never knew
where
that.
Nobody can just get deported into China and get tortured or whatever happens when you're gone. And we don't know.
Never knew that.
Tay's just been gone. And so the government put forward a law that no regular person would agree with. It's one of these like things that happens over here sometimes where it's like, we have recently decided it's totally okay to extradite someone to China. Just people are like, well, no, we would actually rather that not be the case. And then they've kept putting it forward. So people said that was back in March, and then people started protesting, and then they kept putting it forward. Then in June there were even bigger protests, and then a politician in Hong Kong announced that it was on pause or something like that. And I think the protests have continued to get bigger because of some other stuff that's happened kind of in layers of addition to that. So keep going.
So Hong Kong though it's Hong Kong's the city.
Yes.
China's the continent.
Hong Kong is. Let me look on the map because
it has to be.
Isn't Hong Kong its
I'm
own
not
thing?
sure about the full geography. Like they have provinces,
you're right.
states.
No, so
how
it's
they
its
do it.
own country. Yeah, so Hong Kong is a country that used to be a part of China and now is its own thing.
Gotcha. So they've annexed themselves.
It's kind of like the tip of China. It's now its own thing.
They've annexed themselves.
Became its own thing.
Yeah, because Cali's been talking about that for a little bit.
In a lot of ways, it
Not
kind
the
of
dog.
even looks like that. California would be a smaller piece. Well, I don't know. China's pretty big. So, and I guess the people in China are worried, or in Hong Kong are worried that it's essentially this is going to put them under the control of the corrupt Chinese government that they've always been safe from, even though they're right there beside them. They're safe. They don't have to worry about any of the the blackout laws where somebody's just disappeared, or where there's a thing that happens in China where if you Google the wrong thing, your internet rights are taken away from you.
That's a thing now.
So people in Hong Kong don't have to worry about that. And I guess this
VPNs.
Is a slippery slope, and they're getting really upset that this bill is the first of many where it's like, oh, basically China's executing something.
I was gonna say that. Well, that's a thing that happens around the world in more places than we realize, right? Every country, every continent is having some sort of
a lot of this
fucking civil war type shit that's happening within these continents and these states and countries and shit.
It really feels like it's the old guard fighting to keep their
control.
And us getting stronger and stronger and demanding otherwise. So this is the last fact I have that I think will explain to you why there's hundreds of thousands of people being willing to go to jail over this. Legal professionals have expressed concern over the rights of those sent across the border to be tried. Conviction rates in China courts is as high as 99%. So if you get extradited, you're fucked.
That's it.
So it's like, it's basically a corrupt system, almost like we're experiencing in America, where it's like, oh, if you go to court in certain states, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But even worse, it's very rarely 99%.
You don't hear that.
So crazy high.
Yeah.
Like that might as well be 100%.
It might as well be that. That's gonna be tough. I wonder what motivated that. Well, like you said though, it is the old
Chinese government wanting, I believe, now,
total control.
white
right?
guy from Canada, other side of the world. But from what I read, it seems that because the Chinese government has probably always wanted to control some aspects of what's happening there. There's a lot of money being made there, and they're culturally important, and they've got a financial center and all these things.
A huge financial
and so they've been
center.
wanting to control that, and probably through one corrupt politician or a series of corrupt politicians, they've been able to make this move, which is a giant step back in the direction
It's a huge
of them
step.
having control again, I guess. And if you imagine this was us, where England was doing that, it would define my next decade of my life to fight against that.
Yes, it will.
To be like, wait a minute, I can just get deported now for any reason that the government official says to a part of the world where I definitely go to prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, that would fuck with you, bro. So when I read that, a lot of the time I find myself being like, well, what do I don't know a lot of people from that part of the world. And then because to be honest, guiltily, I didn't read it the first 9 weeks it was on my Twitter timeline, and then I was like, damn, 10 weeks in a row? That's hundreds of thousands of people?
That's 100,000.
This
That's a
must
lot.
be something really happening. And so I just wanted to read about it, and I thought it'd be a fun time to share. Now let me share the funny part of the story.
Okay. Silver lining.
No, not so much silver lining. You'll get what I mean.
Okay.
So the Chinese state media, the Communist Party, I guess, through the biggest Chinese newspaper in the country, which is state-run.
Okay.
So it's like the organization that is the voice of the government there. You know
For
what I mean?
the Americans listening, it's Fox News. Go ahead.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Probably even worse,
Yeah,
but very
it's the
similar.
same
very similar. They released a rap video.
Oh,
And the rap
word.
video is all about these protests and democracy and how flawed it is, and about how Americans should just keep their nose where they and it's even in English. So it's
Wow.
like, so a lot of press is like, well, it's for us.
Well, I
It's
wanna
not
know the song
for
now.
them. It's almost entirely in English. It's 70% English except for the last verse. I listened to the whole thing today. It's just the whole thing like, you went to the Middle East, bombs were burning in the streets, like pretty much like keep your fucking nose out of this. And then so I looked into this. I wanted to get the lyrics to read them on the podcast. I couldn't get them. It's too recent.
There's no lyric vid for that?
Bro, no, there's lyrics in the video. Oh, okay. I could read them real time.
Gotcha.
But this is what I found out. They do this. This is not the first time the Chinese
They do
government
raps.
has put out
A rap.
diss rap song
Oh my
for
gosh.
America.
That is hilarious.
They did it two other times.
So, yes, I want to hear
And I
about
have a
these.
question. I have a question.
Yes.
Is America gonna put up or shut up?
Like, who's going to...
Someone needs to respond because these dudes are putting. If this was
This
any
is-
other internet,
this is-
beef,
this is the
these guys
time-
are putting out diss songs.
This is the time where I need Trump to...
bro, it literally cuts to Trump. Like
Trump
this.
and Kanye, like,
I was
yo,
gonna
what's
say
up?
Trump and ASAP.
Yeah. Or Trump and ASAP. Like, I need them to go ahead and get their shit together.
Trump and
Yeah.
ASAP.
I need
In
to
the
get
middle
that
of the
produced
video,
by Kanye.
It cuts to Trump being like, Hong Kong is basically China. Basically China. Basically China. They took the hook is Trump. They sampled.
so they're like
Trump.
going hard. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Now I need to check that out when I leave here. I want to hear China's
That's so
diss
funny.
record to the U.S. And I really want to know what Trump is going to do about that because he's
Yeah.
always like,
Yeah.
It's time to
You know.
step up, man.
yeah.
That's one thing that Trump could actually be good for is
Now that
the
would
petty
actually
shit that we want to
yes,
see.
I want to see that
Yeah.
from the president of my country. That'd be very interesting from him. I wonder what it'd be called.
Hilarious. Hey, wait, listen for 1 second. Ready?
Somewhere so hard to see, so many kind of bitch got the in, so I guess you must be some kind of luxury. Once I heard you be
First of all-
in the Middle East, people were throwing bombs across the city streets. If that's what you want, sorry I can't agree. Get us from me, now I'm shut it down, then we can talk about it.
What's the artist's name?
Okay, so People's Daily China is the newspaper. It says it's by CD Rev, a Chinese rap crew, busted open how Chinese millennials look at the so-called democracy behind riots in Hong Kong. It's so like one-sided and like
Of course.
propaganda. It's really interesting.
Shout out to what CBS? What are these people?
The thing that I keep picturing is the studio sessions.
Yeah.
That's like half Chinese government officials
In there.
and just like one rap crew who signs up for this opportunity.
The Chinese government, they're A&Ring the rap.
Oh, for
beats.
sure. And
Like,
making suggestions.
mention the bombs in the Middle East.
Yes.
Suggestions that are like you must include this in the song.
Bro, I would pay money to see
That'd be interesting.
that scene acted out how it actually happened. Because it must have been this very tense, like, you know what I mean?
Maybe the
Yeah.
government sent one like young intern to
And the
be
rappers
like their
must be like
their
someone's
liaison.
nephew
like-
or something, right? You wouldn't just trust this with any rap crew in the country.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
it's
true.
very interesting.
Super interesting.
You know the things that I learned on the Damaged Good
Yeah.
podcast. I did not know this shit.
They're coming out with bombs, and we're over talking about MGK versus Eminem. Now we're talking about China versus America. Who got the better bars?
I mean, and this
Currently,
this,
China has
but
one on the
this
board.
could actually be a thing, right? Where now countries, when they have beef, they just rap it out,
Bro, rap battles.
rap like
Yeah.
like country rap battles.
Rap battles, not war.
Yeah, there you go. Rap battles, not war.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like
That's
it.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Gotta tweet that to my president. I was about to say your president. I'm sorry,
My
guys.
president has his own problems. They don't seem to be as big.
I don't think so.
But they're their own
He
problems.
just like elbows women in the tit and stuff.
No, his thing was there was
Like
there was
inadvertently?
No, there was a tit elbow.
Yeah, but the biggest issue is the corruption that happened around that whole gas company or whatever.
Yeah.
SLC Lavalin or
Yeah.
whatever.
And
There was-
living in the
there was-
States,
there was a corruption issue.
we don't
here in
know
Canada, too.
shit about Canada other than
Oh,
like,
no.
Drake.
Our corruption is very low
the
key compared to what
Raptors.
Yeah.
y'all are doing.
But But it's the Trump stuff is like spilling over to our side because we have
we feel
Doug Ford and stuff like that, and other people who kind of want to take the Trump style and bring it over here.
It's happening all over the world.
The Trumpian way.
The Trump-esque candidate is having more fuel because of Trump. He's literally ruining the world. It super sucks. Let's make ourselves feel better with a fun story. You guys ready for a fun story?
I love fun stories.
Dolphins eat pufferfish to get stoned. This was just discovered one of these like universities that followed like a family of dolphins around. They found out this pufferfish excrete a toxin that leaves the dolphins feeling in a trance-like state.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And the exact quote I pulled from the article is, the dolphins were filmed gently playing with the puffer, passing it between themselves for 20 to 30 minutes.
It's called a puffer.
It's called a puffer.
And they're just passing it around so we all take a hit.
I mean, that's a message to the world that weed is okay.
It is.
Weed is okay.
Anything that is just like a slight little
sedative,
buzz,
like
pass it around.
You know.
Aren't those the fish that like if you serve them to eat, you have to cut them a certain way, otherwise there's toxins or whatever?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
or
similar.
Probably the same.
Well, it's probably those
Y'all want
toxins.
to get high on some toxic
I got
fish?
some. Yeah, I got this puffer fish. Imagine
that toxic 2001.
Some dude with his long trench coat and puffer fish in his long trench coat.
Yeah,
trying to sell it.
Really
be
funny.
Comfortable.
So the other funny news story, and this is funny for us, not so funny to the person it happened to. South Dakota, we saw this last night. We were at a bar and it was going across like the news ticker, and I'm like, babe, we should write this down and definitely talk about this. South Dakota woman suspected of having kidney stones. Okay, so I've never had that. Have you ever had that?
No, I haven't.
So you go into the hospital, you have kidney stones, and then you wake up.
You're pregnant.
Yep. Not with one. Not with two.
Not one.
She
not
has
two.
3 babies.
Yeah.
Imagine going under being like, you know what, I'm scared. It's no big deal. My mom got these. She said it's no big deal.
Yeah.
My auntie got them. No big deal. And then she wakes up. Oh, so you're a mother of 3 babies.
She
so
wakes up though.
We're gonna go ahead and need you to change your entire life and who you are. And
right now.
Right.
But
now.
you hear about stories like this all the time.
That's
where people are like
crazy.
surprisingly pregnant. As a dude, I don't know.
Like we
or
talked about last
understand,
night, I
but-
feel like you have to be like a larger woman for that to happen, right?
Maybe she's a larger woman.
Especially triplets. Like one
Triplets?
baby I could understand because you.
What are you saying? Because she's large, she's got nothing better to do than raise these 3 babies?
It sounds
No,
like
that's not what I was
where you
saying.
were going.
Maybe you were going.
Sound like it's where you were going.
No, that's
there.
not what I was saying.
Are you large shaming anyone?
I'm just saying there's no way that somebody of a normal size would not notice if
You
they
saying
had
large is
triplets.
it normal size?
Of an average size.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Wait, what's average size?
It's math based. I think I'll allow
I
that
mean,
one.
maybe in Dakota, large
Oh
is
yeah, no,
average.
that probably, yeah. I'm about to
She might be
say yeah.
average
That's
size there.
Dakota.
I don't know.
Yeah, you hear about that, man. I just
I've got a funny news story for you too. Old television sets have been dumped outside of the homes of dozens of people in the U.S. That's interesting. By a man wearing an old TV on his head. So they caught him on like security cameras. It's just a guy wearing a unitard, like a black suit with like a big TV on his head, and he's just dropping off old TVs on people's lawns.
what's his name?
They've collected
though? That would
over
be
like
good.
600 or something old TVs from people's lawns.
He has to have a handle though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they're
what's his
suspecting
name?
it's more than one person.
What's his name? It's like the TV
What is his
repair
name?
man.
I don't know. I've got nothing good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I gotta think. We need a name for this dude.
Let me tell you what where my brain goes on this is I'm really fascinated by the idea that there's a guy, okay? Let's just say his name is Ned, and he's sitting at home and he's just like,
Could be Ned. Could be a Ned.
look at all these TVs. Because definitely he had access to these TVs.
He had access. I don't know if he had them all.
Must work out like
That was
a
an early
dump or something.
factor in this plan,
He's
okay?
probably a TV repair man.
Probably is. He has access to these TVs.
He has access to
at
these
least.
things.
So he's sitting around being like, I got these TVs. I really want to make a splash. And this is where I'm going with this is this. That we live in an age where if you think of something weird enough, you virtually guarantee you'll become kind of an internet celebrity for it. Like you just go somewhere there are cameras and do the really bizarre thing.
Yeah.
Wearing your leotard and like do a little dance and drop off a TV and then like polish it and walk away. And people will watch that and be like, can you fucking believe what
But
I
he's
just
doing this
saw?
in the middle of the night too. Sorry, that was an important factor. He's doing this in secret in the middle of the night, and people were finding TVs on their lawns and then checking their security cameras.
his unitard.
That makes it even weirder.
That's what I'm saying is I think these internet trolling has gotten to a level where you can consider that if you hit 40 houses, some of them are going to have cameras and you're going to end up in some viral video.
And you might go viral.
And it's
Yeah.
almost like the best way to do it is to approach it in a way where it's like this person, like what the bizarreness of what he's doing all by himself with no one watching is almost the gasoline that makes it go viral.
Yeah.
Now I want to see it.
Well,
It's extra weird.
You have to watch out for the guy who's at the parties suggesting or asking, "Hey, you guys hear about that random TV dude dropping off TVs in lawns?"
This goes by the TV room.
He goes by the
Oh,
TV
you mean this is
repairman.
him talking? Like,
it's
he's
him.
trying to stir
He's
up
trying
the
to stir up-
gossip?
Yeah, he's trying to I hear that's his handle. I'm not
T-shirts. He's handing out T-shirts to everybody.
like that's the dude you got to watch out for because he's
He's
definitely
like the
selling
photographer,
T-shirts.
like Peter Parker. He's like, I got this picture of him.
He's definitely selling T-shirts
Yeah.
of it,
But he also has a TV on his own. So
and they know he's always had some sort of
Ned,
weird.
it's clearly you. You've talked about this since high school. You've always talked about
You've
this
always
exact
been
prank.
this. No, it's not me. Like,
You've been collecting our TVs for 30 years for exactly
I'm
this.
telling
We
you,
know
him.
it's you.
him. You gotta watch out for that guy. That's who is doing it.
Yeah. When I used to work in a tattoo parlor, me and the owner there used to talk about the zombie walk. Have you guys heard of zombie walks?
Yeah.
They do them in
Yeah.
Toronto. I don't
Yeah.
know if they do them in the US.
they've done it.
I once did one for a corporate client. Like I
Yeah,
organized one.
they got it used to be like a grassroots, like small thing, and then they
I was
got
the reason
huge.
it sold out. It got sold out.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, the man.
Now they get like sponsored by like
Yeah,
there'll be like a new horror movie.
Degree presents
Yeah. Zombie walk.
Zombie Walk.
Degree.
Being dead's not easy.
Yeah. Just because you're dead doesn't mean you have to smell like it.
That was good.
I got
that
two
was
boys.
good.
Jess
That
went
was
for 12.
good.
I like
That was
it.
good.
But we used to say that he's like, oh, that's not a real zombie walk. He's like, a real zombie walk would be done at like 2 a.m, and you wouldn't tell
Starts
anybody
at
about
a graveyard.
It starts at a graveyard. That's exactly what he said. Starts at a graveyard. I'm like, I don't know. That's a really good, especially in the States. You would
so
get
let me
shot.
tell you. I was gonna say. Let me tell you something. Don't do that in the States.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of the night, and not in a black neighborhood.
We just realized that that's not a real is in every category because we hear like that's not real rap, that's not real hip hop, that's not a real movie, that's not
a
real
real
comedy.
zombie walk.
That's not a real.
That's not a real zombie walk. A real old-fashioned zombie walk from my day started
not
at a
real.
graveyard and it started on a day that somebody you know died. So that it's believable you would even be at the graveyard.
The TV
If
repairman
you
when he
were
died.
walking home from somewhere and all of a sudden out of a graveyard, like 20 zombies
Listen.
just like really
Listen.
quietly.
I'm gonna answer this. Let me answer first. As the resident black dude right here, I'm not having that shit.
I've heard internet rumors about
I'm not having that shit. We don't. That's not some shit that we're interested in off top. And I'm pretty sure I can speak for the whole black.
So what do you mean
delegation.
you're not having it though? Like what would you?
So if I see a group of 20 people look like they're walking like
he's running away.
yeah, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
So
I'm out of there.
I would never bring
and that's
this up.
the end of the movie.
But you brought it up.
Because
So now I
that's
want to
it.
ask.
I won't die.
You said
Yes.
representing the Black Coalition.
Yes,
So
delegation. But yeah, go ahead.
Both.
Yeah, whatever. Same thing.
Team.
Yeah, there you go. The black team.
Let me ask.
Go ahead.
I've seen videos where there's black people getting like easily scared.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It's very much a thing.
Yeah.
Well, because we are.
I've got tons of black friends. They're just
Yeah.
not scared around me because of monsters that often.
Do you
So I
remember
don't-
that Charlie Dear what was it? The
No,
thing with
no,
like layer the pencils on top of each other.
I started sweating when I
don't
asked
know-
that question.
I don't know that one.
I'm like on the internet asking generic simple questions.
Sorry.
I don't know that one, but the reason why is that we're taught to be like apprehensive of everything. So anything
Including,
that
like,
moves,
magic?
yes, because we can't see it, we can't explain it. We don't want to fuck with that at all. So if it moves too fast or moves with, like in a weird pattern or anything, we're not fucking with it. I can't do it.
I feel like that carries over to similar videos I've seen, and we're gonna get off the subject
Yeah.
real soon. With like magic in front of
Yeah,
the
that-
black
that's what I just
audience,
said
too, yeah.
like similar.
We're now, in a later what do we call this one? We're approaching like 2020, so whatever we call this decade, this coming decade. Yeah, there you go. We are a little more open because of the internet. So shout out to the internet.
Everybody's amalgamating culturally.
Yeah, but prior to that, we're not really fucking with that shit, bro. If it wasn't on like I don't know, Arsenio Hall or some shit where we were growing up, we're not fucking with it.
One of my other black friends made a point when I had this conversation with not this exact conversation, but a similar one, and his point was that in the U.S. in particular, a lot of black communities are also more religious, and that's often the factor.
Like with like horror movies.
Because it's
Yeah.
also the
stuff
white
like
people
that.
in those same regions
Like-
are also more scared
Yeah.
and more susceptible because of that sort of religiosity.
Like Halloween, right? It's a thing. If you're more religious, you don't fuck with the devil's holiday.
Of course,
shit like that.
So that it also could just be just in general religious regions are going to be a little bit less like, I don't fuck with your weird magic dude on the street, and you know what I mean, and a little more like, hey, wait, kids in demon masks, how about no?
Yeah. Well, back to that zombie thing. Don't do it in black neighborhoods. That's pretty much because I want
black neighborhood.
I want there to be.
Hey, Jess,
I promise you I won't.
We're gonna have to change all our Halloween plans.
Sorry, guys.
That's what we were
Sorry.
Yeah.
I warned you. I don't want you to. Yeah, no, that's not smart.
That's really funny.
We'll do no zombies over here, cuz.
No, that's noted.
That's how we do that.
Well, is that how we do that?
I mean, yeah.
Sounds like that's how we do it.
What time is it?
It's 8:52. I think we should stop soon because I'm like I have to keep getting up to cough and
that's
sneeze
true.
in the next room.
Yeah, no. Let's wrap it up.
I have one more thing. I want.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So last episode we talked about reality TV, and I asked you and Rebecca, as performing artists, if you would ever like be on the cast of a reality TV show. So I'll ask you that question to start as well, and then I have something I want to add to it. So if you were approached by, let's say, like Big Brother or something, you know, Big Brother,
yeah.
would you ever do that?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. And the reason being,
What if it was Big Brother?
definitely doing it.
Okay.
Are we exploring my experience in the zombie field?
No. This is
Flash-
regular experience.
Just trying to regular experiences. If it's Big Brother, I'm definitely signing up. I personally hate reality TV.
Really?
Because I've been involved in someone like more back end things, and so I kind of understand what goes into it.
In what way were
And
you?
it's
He's a porn recruiter. He drives around in a really big black van.
actually very
it's
funny.
porn reality TV.
Actually,
I mean, I guess it is.
can be very much reality.
If you think about it,
it's very much reality
real.
TV. Oh, do you need a ride?
reality TV?
I don't know how I'm gonna get here. It's a lot.
It's the only place you can see real tears.
Anywho, that was a funny little thing. I used to do that, actually. That was one of my side jobs. I was a recruiter for an adult film company.
Oh, okay. So is this what you were talking about?
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
sense that.
okay. I thought
sense
you were
that.
making a joke.
No, I was
No.
making a joke, but
seriously.
I can sense things.
Yeah, it was a thing. So just being involved in that and kind of understanding the politics of going with that, I don't want to have shit to do with it personally.
Yeah.
But I do understand how it's an outlet for some people. So, if it's an outlet for some people.
We're kind of the same way, being in like the film industry and stuff.
Yeah.
We watch some reality TV, or I should say I do, and then Anthony just stands beside me and makes fun of it. And we're the same way, where it's like we know how what's the expression? We know how the cake is made. We know how the sausage, right? We know how the sausage is made. So often we're just like, oh, of course they staged that. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. You can see
How'd
it.
they get that angle? They had to go all the way over there and
so
put the
many
camera
angles.
first.
Yeah, that doesn't make
And then they
any
get
sense.
two angles of the same thing. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. When somebody storms out, but they already have like a top angle of them
on
storming
Catfish,
out.
they'll knock on the door, and that doesn't happen often, but it's like
And they're inside on
But the
Angles-
camera's
from the inside. It's like
the camera's on the
Yeah,
inside.
looking out the window.
I wonder who's at the door.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's you.
But my follow-up question is, if you were on a reality TV show, what angle do you think they would take on you and on your character? Because there's
Besides
always
the
like
Big
a
Brother
villain.
angle?
There's always like the girl who cries.
he's clearly the player.
Yeah, he's the player.
I was gonna
every
say
reality show has a
there has to be
player,
right,
so-
and so that's. But they would cast me as that, whether or not I want to be that.
But you know what you would be?
Well, you know you want to be that.
Yeah,
though,
but also-
right?
I'll probably be that guy.
No, but this is you. This is
Probably
you.
be that
Let
guy.
me tell you, because I always fancy myself. I would have been a good like TV executive producer.
Yeah.
This is who you are.
Go ahead.
He's the guy who, at first, the audience doesn't like you because you're really smooth, and reality TV audiences might immediately have a bad reaction to you, like smooth talking on the first episode.
Yeah.
like trying to get laid quick, out the
Right
gate
away.
almost thing.
Right.
But the
So
thing
what
with
are you
Tay, what they
doing?
would discover is he's actually also the nicest guy in the house.
Yeah.
And you'd win America over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they would have like a.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, no, they would. When they do the poll,
Yeah,
like week to
share
week.
something really vulnerable.
Yeah, 'cause
and
you're vulnerable, and also
Yeah.
when one of the guys did something really fucked up to the girl, you'd be kind of
I was there like, Captain
swoop
Save
in,
him.
but not try to fuck her. Just to
Captain
be like,
save him. It's like,
just
no, I don't want to fuck tonight.
No, that's
Captain Save
He should have
him.
just told you.
Tomorrow.
He should have just told you he had a girlfriend,
But not
He
tonight.
should have just told you he had a girlfriend back in Nebraska. I mean,
That fucking dickhead.
I'm always honest up front. Right now, I'm not
Right.
seeing anybody, but if I was,
It'd be you,
no, I would tell you though.
or it'd be you.
But it would be you, and then it would be only you.
It'd be only you, baby.
Who would you be?
That's a bit tougher.
Yeah.
Listen, let me answer that. I think
That sound?
I want to know what you think, but let me tell you what I think first, because that's how this podcast goes. I think I would fancy myself the smart, likable guy, but that's not how I'd be perceived, because I can also be kind of grumpy at times and harsh in my criticisms at times. So I think if I make it to episode 5, I'm the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America sees me as the asshole by if I stick around to episode 5,
Yeah.
because I have a big heart, and they would also, and I don't think they'd hate me because they would also see me.
Yeah.
I'm also the most affectionate guy in the house, but I'm also the one who the only one who bit someone's head off.
What they would
Definitely,
do,
there's be guys trying to fight you too.
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say.
100%.
I was gonna say they're gonna set you up to be the know-it-all, right? You know it all.
They don't have to set that up. I'll do that.
Well, you're gonna do that, but then everyone in the confessional was like, "Fucking Anthony."
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, bro, and it's that's what
didn't
they're gonna
ask
do.
him what he thought, but
I
he
did
just
not ask
told
him.
me.
He's fucking talk to me,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
A guy's gonna get kicked off for hitting you or something, and they'll be like, "This show is of zero."
Then I go the next week.
zero tolerance.
People are just done with me.
Yeah,
at that
people
point.
are just like, well,
No, they have to keep you on because you're kind of an antagonist. You be kind of an
What
antagonist.
happens, and I've done a little bit of reality TV, obviously mostly just competition, but what can happen sometimes though is when I'm in a room, it depends who they put me in the house with or in a room with, right? Because when I'm in a room or in a house with creatives who would even call themselves that, I don't tend to butt heads with those people as much. With alpha male men types, super butt heads with.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends the dynamic, because it could happen that the people in there are enough like me that I go to funny mode. I go to, do you know what I mean? I get switched on and I'm
because you're around other, like you said,
go to
creatives
charm
and
mode.
stuff. Yeah,
a little bit like what on Canada's Smartest Person, I had some of that with those guys because they were so much like me. I really felt I felt comfortable to riff with them.
yeah.
But then there's a lot of other places you see me go in where I'm like, this is not my room.
But
man.
you guys
People are-
understand how casting for these things work, right?
gonna put some of
They're
those people
not
in
going to
that
put
room,
people like you in there.
You're right.
They got to put the alpha males so you
But
can directly
but
clash.
it depends on the mix. If there's a couple like me, it might if there's people like you in the house.
Yeah.
We get riffing and it ends up being the energy changes from competitive to funny.
Right. It's
You know
just
what I
fun,
mean?
right?
And fun
Yeah.
and that energy, or a Tynan and some of the people that we roll with that are still good reality TV contestant types.
Yeah.
But then if there's too many of the a musclehead guy from New Jersey who just thinks just shut up.
Right, that dude.
Oh, he's talking.
that guy.
It's definitely
that
gonna end
guy.
poorly for me.
You hear him in the confessional. It's
He's
gonna be
ironing his
funny.
tank top,
Just ironing his tank top.
looking around mad, just fuming about something I said 3 episodes
First
ago.
of all, everyone who listens to this podcast who irons their tank tops, you got that.
Sorry, I mean alien HR.
Yeah, I think that like you said, they cast in a way that they cast the drama people. I don't think I would get casted because I wouldn't. I'm not
Yeah,
good
you're
at
too
playing up the
alkaline.
drama. I like no drama. I would love to have fun. I'd be woo, having fun. And I think I would be good for drama in terms of crying easily because if
they
somebody
need
said
that.
something
No, they
hurtful,
do
I'd
want
be the crying
one sensitive girl. She doesn't
Yeah.
last
But-
long though.
It has to be dramatic though, not just sensitive. You
you
have to
gotta
be
be
dramatic.
I'm not
See, no, you're not
dramatic.
that
I'm more
person then.
quiet.
Yeah,
and
you can't
not
go cry in a
quiet, but,
corner.
No, and also
yeah.
in the interviews they'd say, so if you're upset, do you want to be by yourself or do you want people to know they made you upset? And you'd be I want to be
I'll be by myself. I'm like,
No, I would.
X.
You wouldn't
Goodbye.
want to cry in
But
front of the people.
That's when they
No,
say.
I disagree. I cry in
And
front of
give you
people
the
all the
X.
time. There's not one friend of mine who hasn't seen me cry. I'll cry mid sentence and I'll just keep
yeah, but
talking.
you mean
know
more
what I mean?
tear. I mean make a scene.
I cried in front of Tay. I remember.
Yeah. Well, we all
Listen,
cried
again,
that
we're
day. I
playing
remember that.
executive producers
Yeah.
over here. We need to make a scene.
Oh yeah. Well, I did
Right.
make a scene that day.
Yeah.
Anthony was like, "I've never heard you swear before."
Yeah,
If
that
anyone's
was a-
wondering,
that was a-
we got
that
a
was a
bunch of
tough
our
one.
stuff stolen, and
man.
we were all very upset that day.
That was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough one for us.
But I think that I could make. If I knew I was on TV, I think I could make a scene.
But you wouldn't want to. You're not
Yeah.
a drama queen like that.
and that's a part of it as well, right? Being aware. And then what if they missed the angle? Now we need you to cry again.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That same way.
Oh no, I had to cry.
Keep that same intensity, please. It's a weird thing, reality TV, but I don't watch that shit, man.
So Tay's a no.
yeah, sorry.
Unless
so I say sorry.
it's a reality show about you, then I
Canada.
bet you'd be in.
Sorry.
We would say sorry. I say sorry.
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 Canadians say sorry.
Sorry.
We're also
no,
like-
that's the Northern Canadian. We kind of have the Southern
we're
Canadian.
from Toronto, which is pretty Americanized.
Yeah, it's right there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Tomorrow.
Don't you know?
Sorry, guys.
Don't you know?
So, yeah, we're doing another episode tomorrow because we're actually filming. We've never done.
Wait, I want to ask one question.
Tomorrow.
Do we have accents like me and Anthony?
Not heavy, but
I'm
the
French
occasional.
Canadian, so I've heard
the
that I have a little
occasional.
bit of that.
Yeah.
It leaks out a little bit.
We don't
but
sound
you guys
American.
Not
so you pick up on little bits there.
right. That's it. You don't sound like you're from the North Pole either, so you're good.
That's what I was saying.
Sorry.
Tomorrow.
I just had to know.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have a second episode in a row, which we've never done before. But
Oh,
the reason that we're
back to
doing
back.
that is we are shooting some cool behind the scenes content, showing people how we make it, showing people the room and like even kind of the process how we make an episode. And we've got a camera guy, Aaron Samby, on set who's going to be shooting with us.
Word. Shout out to Aaron.
So stay tuned for that. And coming up, we've got my friend Crystal, a girl I went to college with. Once in a while, it's fun to drop in somebody who's got like embarrassing stories from us from like way back. And then we've got some other comedians coming up, Rushzilla, and some more people. I'm really excited.
Tell Crystal to bring like old pictures of you though. So I think that.
I wonder if she has old pictures of
Those
me.
are that's
amazing.
I'm gonna ask her.
That's always good.
That's a great suggestion.
It's always
Thanks,
good,
Tay. So how do we follow you on socials?
So everything is the takeover.
Is there underscores or no?
One of them I forget, bro.
Instagram has an underscore at the end.
Look at that.
Okay, but if you get
research,
if you spell the takeover,
Yeah,
with
it's
a
gonna
Y,
come out, yeah.
you'll find it.
exactly. TheTaykeover.
Okay, cool.
Just like that.
The Tay. Taykeover.
Sure.
Wow.
Just that. I mean,
Just as
phonetically,
like stumbled all over us.
phonetically, it was correct, I guess. So
And you've got music right now on streaming platforms.
I do.
If you see me go in places, Tay's often there. He's come out with us to Europe and come out with us to LA.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll be many more of those in the future. He's an extended member of the Canadian fam.
Yeah.
We're excited to go to his city for the first time. It's a pleasure having you on the podcast. He's the second person to come in and do the like Heavy Ox Studio stop in, and then the Damaged Goods Studio stop
Yep.
in. Rebecca Moreland did that last episode.
it was all on the tour, man. You guys are very hospitable. So, I
Welcome
like
back
you
to
guys.
Toronto. Thanks
if
for coming on the
if I
podcast.
didn't like you guys, I would definitely block you on social media, like Twitter does. So
That's fair.
Wow.
I feel like that's the way we do things
Really
now, right?
negative note to end on,
As conflict resolution at its
on a
best.
positive note, our
that?
dog is very smart and somehow knows every time we're finishing an episode.
She can hear me
It must be
throwing
like
signals.
the wrapping it up tone of her voice.
Yeah.
She's like ready to like cuddle now.
to play.
Yeah.
A little
pretty much.
fun thing. One of our last tours that we did in California, I dropped the line or
that's
something
right.
like
Yeah.
my dog is not from Cali, but he has a dog
But he
named
Yeah.
has a dog named Callie.
Yeah.
something like that. I don't even know why I decided to put that in.
Yeah.
Dog is
That's
not
a-
from
it's a
Cali,
great
but
song.
he
Shout
has
out
a
to
dog
Cali.
named Callie.
There you go. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't write my own raps.
Of course not. I wrote them all.
Yep.
Thanks for coming. I have so many little clips I'm just going to edit. Yeah, we love y'all. Thanks for sticking around to the end. We appreciate you. Comment, like, subscribe, follow.
Yeah, pretty much all the same shit they just said.
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, Cali?